Hello. All right. Please.
His Excellency, the Chief of Staff to the President.
Health providers, non-governmental organizations, and governments to advance the cause of eye health. It empowers partners and provides them the tools that they need to optimize eye health among populations, connecting health with broader economic development, health, education, and economic development. Their efforts have been geared towards assisting governments in collaboration with the private sector and non-governmental organizations to integrate eye health more closely so that it's not treated as a side issue, but that it's in an integrated manner. They also are leading a Vision Catalyst Fund, which will support, with the support of one of their partners, a foundation, will work with the government of Nigeria through the National Eye Health Program in the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare and the partners to provide a roadmap for sustainable vision care in Nigeria, starting with some model districts, but potentially going much wider in Nigeria, consistent with what Mr. President had done in Lagos many years ago. The fund aims to raise $1 billion as a catalytic fund. It will not be enough, but that's sort of multi-country, $1 billion, that's their aspiration. Using alternative finance, engaging funders and other sectors to do what they had laid out to do for health, but also linking to educational outcomes. So this idea of integration and taking eye health beyond just the health sector to other developmental areas is one thing that the Catalytic Fund will help. Professor Andrew requested to visit and pay this visit to Mr. President with a promise, which I'm sure he will lay out, of 5 million eyeglasses for Nigerians to be distributed free in Nigeria through the National Eye Health Program at the Federal Ministry of Health. He also, I believe, will indicate the kinds of technical support he might provide to unlock some of the World Bank funding in education to implement the school eye health program together with the Ministry of Education. So this is an avenue, Mr. President, to engage with him to promote effective implementation of the programs that they are beginning to conceive together with our ministry. Eye health is not only a health issue, as I've mentioned, but it's a social, economic, and a developmental issue. It links to not only health of families, health of individuals, their well-being, their ability to engage in their farming activities, their trading activities, to engage in learning, and the huge deficit based on several surveys that have been done in this country over the years is under-attended. But I believe that this visit and with the eye health program in the Federal Ministry of Health, there is a path. So with those initial remarks, Mr. President, I will ask Professor Andrew to lay out the purpose of their visit and what...
I'm passionate about eye care because as a child I was failing at school. And I was told I was clumsy, I was told I was lazy, I was told I didn't pay attention. And at the age of 12, I was taken for an eye test and found to have very poor eyesight. When they first put on the pair of glasses, they were shocked at how poor my sight was. And they sent me straight outside for me to report back what I could see. And when I went outside, I looked at the trees and I was shocked. I could see leaves for the first time on trees. My life completely changed. 2 weeks later, I received my first pair of free glasses on the National Health Service. I saw stars clearly for the first time. My grades all improved, and the trajectory of my life completely changed. And that was all from a very cheap intervention, which is 700 years old. Had that not happened, I would not be sat here today in front of yourself and esteemed colleagues. I would not be a professor at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, and I would not be involved in all the work that I am, because sight gives us opportunity. And I'd like to reframe sight not as eye health, but as an opportunity for learning, for earning, for well-being, for road safety. It unlocks all of these things, and we've been able to demonstrate it through huge amounts of evidence now that vision unlocks human potential like very very few other things are able to. And so with that past, it took me on a journey to see how can we solve this problem. And that led to me spending a lot of time researching public health and starting to understand who are the invisible people in the system, who are the people we don't see, who we don't find. And that led to the development of a technology organization called Peak Vision, where we use smartphones to be able to equip non-health workers to screen people in the communities, in schools, and then a platform that connects them to the places they need to go for treatment. We've published this in multiple trials to prove how effective it is, and we've shown in some countries 16 times more people get their sight back and get care by using this program. We've now got programs with national governments in Kenya, in Pakistan, in Botswana. In Kenya, we're screening 250,000 people every month. In Pakistan, 150,000 every month. In Botswana, a national program for every single school trial that is now funded by the government. So an entire generation of children will see who potentially would not have done otherwise. And when I look at the situation in Nigeria, I see a mix of real hope and real challenge. The estimated numbers today are around 24 million people with vision loss in Nigeria and about 1.3 million blind. The tragedy in it is 90% could see tomorrow if they could access quality treatment. And that quality treatment is not complex things. It's either a pair of glasses or a cataract operation for the majority. So these are things that are within grasp, within reach, that can be delivered in near term. And the WHO and the United Nations have now elevated eye health as an issue in a way that it was never raised before. There's now a World Report on Vision by the WHO and a United Nations resolution on vision passed 2 years ago, and Nigeria was a key partner in getting that to the global stage. The biggest challenge for most countries is that eye care is chronically under-resourced. For some reason, there's a paradox in that because it's so treatable, people have assumed it's been treated. But the reality is it hasn't, for many, many millions of people around the world, including in Nigeria. In Nigeria, the estimates are that 0.0002% of the health budget is spent on eye health. In countries, it varies between slightly under 1% to 2% as the average. And so without that resource in eye care, it's very difficult to change the paradigm. But the good news is that you have an excellent team. Dr. Okolo Oteri, who came to the London School to do her master's, was instantly one of the leading members of her cohort, and everyone believed that she was going to be a true champion. And as soon as she's come back to Nigeria in her capacity as coordinator for the National Eye Health Programme, has demonstrated in tremendous leadership without much resource to do so. In that time, her team have developed policies for school eye health, for diabetic retinopathy, for primary eye care training, and they've started to implement those, but at a small scale, but with huge potential for that to grow. And so what we would like to offer is to bring Peak Vision, our methodology and platform, to Nigeria, to help unlock resources from multiple sources. In the countries that we've worked in, Peak in Botswana unlocked $10 million for the school program. In Kenya, 17 million euros. In Pakistan, the government was able to release multiple more amount for eye care because the evidence became apparent very quickly. The programs became data-driven, they were accountable, they were visible, and the change was seen by everyone. So we are very keen now to partner with fantastic organizations and the government to start to give very intentional and data-driven eye care programs, which then unlocks the other opportunity, which is the gift of the glasses. So through the Vision Catalyst Fund, we have secured a donation of 200 million pairs of glasses, which include reading glasses, glasses for school children, and distance glasses. We would like a significant proportion of that to be coming to Nigeria. And conversations have already begun in terms of how we can help build capacity, develop the roadmap through our partner, One Sight EssilorLuxottica, who are the biggest manufacturer of glasses and lenses in the world. And the third part is we've been having conversations with the World Bank this year, and through their school nutrition program, they've identified an opportunity to include school eye health within that. And we're very keen, if we can start deploying school programs and creating a budget for school eye health, that we can bring World Bank further into this conversation, and they're waiting to hear the output of today's meeting so that they may help resource the expansion of school eye health in Nigeria. And ultimately, the hope is that for children like me, whose opportunities change dramatically, all of the children in Nigeria will have their best opportunity to learn. For all of those who are in the working generation, that they have the best opportunity to earn and provide. And for those in the older age to be well and thrive as they get older. And so we believe if the health budget, if only 1% of it was towards eye health, we could eliminate avoidable blindness in Nigeria within a decade. And I thank you for giving us the time to be here.
Welfare, and the story is touching. And sight and vision is critical to economic development and our growth. Is crucially important. I admire your story. Mine is slightly different from yours. Why I started the vision care about 22 years ago. It's my mother of blessed memory. She was ill and she couldn't recognize me. She was treated and given a pair of glasses. And the next question she asked me was, I have you. You are able to do this for me. What about those other women and their children who will not have somebody like you, or may not have somebody like you? So I made a promise that we pursue the vision care with a vigorous Nigerian commitment. And I started the free eyeglasses and the medical outreach because of that question and our passion. I think we've touched several millions of people in Lagos. And you could see the joy of improvement in their sight when they have a pair of glasses which they didn't anticipate. Yes, you are right. The investment in sight and correctional activities and help needed for a society cannot be estimated easily. But the contribution to the knowledge and economic development of a nation will depend on the care we give to our people, particularly the most vulnerable and the needy. And what I'm doing is tremendous, and we have a phenomenal impact on the people. The Honorable and Coordinating Minister for Health has said it all. I am in support. I will encourage the mobilization of fund and commitment to see this through, to reach our vulnerable and the children in our schools. Some parents might not pay attention to your story, but I do, and I am touched. Thank you very much. So, whatever we can do, we are in. Thank you.
brief one. You've spoken inside, but want to know what you intend to achieve with these projects coming up soon, just briefly before we move to other items.
Well, the welfare of Nigerians is very foremost in the president's mind. Eye health is not just about the health of the individual, it goes beyond that. This visit to the president with this esteemed delegation is really about how do we come together and solve the issue of access to the interventions that can bring back vision for millions of Nigerians, young children who need to go to school, women who need to see their children and help them with school homework, adults who need to work to restore their vision. The president is committed to that as part of this effort to improve the welfare of Nigerians, and we're very grateful that we have partners like Big Vision and their funding partners also who are engaged with us in this effort. So now is to go and get it done. And I think we have the mandate of the president to move forward with them. Yeah.
I'm sure Nigerians can wait for that. Now, aside that, you just submitted a policy document for the sector. Can we have it?
Yes. So it's really around integration of eye care. It's to do with integrating at all levels, including the primary health care level at the front end. It's about building the capacities of our institutions. It's also about improving the financing of health overall, but eye health within that, and working with other sectors with a multi-sectoral lens, not in silos, but working together and collaborating in partnership with actors that are outside government, private sector, civil society, global partners. Yeah.
Okay, holistically, what's the vision from that policy document?
Well, the vision is to make eye care available, accessible, affordable to every Nigerian, so that their potential is not, no one should have their potential minimized because they don't have access to interventions that can be delivered to them. And the president is very committed to improve the welfare of Nigerians today, but also the future of this country, our young ones, women, and also who are vulnerable and marginal in society because of eye health. Thank you.